Hello, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys, where we teach the little guy and girl how to utilize charts to manage their own trades and investments. What do I mean by the little guy and girl? Well, we just had two directives signed halting the implementation of a rule that requires financial advisors to act in the best interests of their client. Let that sink in a little bit. The big wigs on Wall Street can play with your retirement and hard-earned money without your best interests at heart. We currently have hundreds of members taking charge of their financial future, and we would love for you to come check out a free week with no credit card required to see if our services would be beneficial on your path to financial independence as well. What we offer, we have a separate course of over 5 hours in length on when to enter and exit positions. And in terms of what we do daily, we have nightly videos, key levels updated each morning before the bell, 2.5 hours of live daily webcam coverage in the morning and in the afternoon, and over 7 hours of educational videos. All of these links can be found in the description of this video. Come check us out. Thanks for watching. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Looking at the airline sector, we'll start with JETS, which is the ETF that tracks global jets US, and then we're looking at LUV, AAL, DAL, and HA. So JETS, we're forming a bit of a base down here, and we can see that the price has dipped. The lowest price, 27.41, so ideally the bulls want to hold that level as long as possible. We've been in a sideways channel for quite some time, and after this gap down to start the week, it's pretty much just been the bulls trying to defend a new support level now that we broke below the previous consolidation low of 27.69. So this is normal healthy consolidation, and when you look on the weekly time frame, you can see that. This is after the big time bull breakout that we had in October and November. We still have not given back much of those gains at all. We can see some clear resistance in the upper $28 area. We topped out at 28.98, 91, 94, and even though we broke those levels, obviously those gains did not last long. So we're looking for the bulls to confirm this bullish reversal hammer. You can see the lower wick with the bulls buying the dip. It's coming after last week where the upper wick shows a lot of profit taking and the bears stepping in. So we're looking for confirmation of this candlestick, another green week, and we are looking for continuation for the bulls. So individual names, I personally would like to play some individual names myself in this sector because some are set up way better than others, and I'll show you what I mean. LUV is one that is set up really well for the bulls. Look at the pullback that we had. It was not very significant at all that started this week, and we still maintained higher lows. So here was that nice sideways healthy consolidation. We bounced off the 50-day moving average support. That's our new support level to be watching, that low of 48.71. And as long as we keep progressing with higher lows, the bulls remain in control. So we're also watching the low of this past week, 51.17. I would refer to that as a higher low as well. And we're pretty close to the high that we hit, 54.18. On Friday, we hit 53.58. So you can see the bulls very clearly still in an uptrend. And we look at the weekly time frame, and it's a lot different looking chart. You look at JETS, and we had that little fake out and then a pullback with a lower low. And you look at LUV, and it's been nothing but sideways consolidation and then continuation and a break to the upside. So if I were going to be playing the airline sector, granted, you'll have a little bit less exposure in terms of risk if you're in JETS, the overall sector, rather than an individual name. But in my opinion, there's going to be names that are weighing down JETS that obviously wouldn't be weighing down LUV as an individual company. So LUV bulls in full control. 54.18 is resistance, and the closest support I'm watching, the first one, is 51.17. Middle Bollinger Band daily, nice support. Now let's look at some of these other names. So AAL, look at the pullback that we had here, way different than LUV. Higher low, very minimal pullback, but AAL was an all-out dump. So volume is dwindling, and when volume decreases, that shows the bears are tiring to the downside. Same thing as JETS, we're forming a base of support down here. The low of this consolidation, 43.57, and now the bulls need to prove they're back in town here and break some of these lower highs. So I'm looking at the high of Friday, 44.55, and then the high of Wednesday, 45 on the dot. And the bulls' goal is to break those levels and then head back up to fill this gap up at 46.72. The weekly time frame is holding the weekly middle Bollinger Band, but just like JETS, you can see, look at that $50 psychological resistance level, rejecting 5 times in the past 3 months, and really the past 2.5 months, and leading to a lower high and a lower low. So a bearish MACD cross on the verge of a bearish TCG cross. It's a completely different setup where you have higher lows and higher highs on LUV compared to lower high and lower low on AAL. Looking at DAL, same thing with the drastic pullback to start the week. Building our base of support, 46.57, 46.48, a little bit further into the bounce playing out than we have for AAL, and that's because we've already broken the high of Wednesday, whereas AAL has not done that yet. So resistance, high of Friday, 48 on the dot, then up to 48.95 before looking to fill the gap at 49.57. Weekly time frame, a little bit more bullish than AAL on the weekly because we did have a nice long lower wick defending that middle Bollinger Band weekly support, and we are not seeing a bearish MACD cross yet, which the bulls could fend off with a little bit of upside. Same thing with the exponential moving averages and the bearish TCG cross that is potentially about to unfold. HA, another name to be looking at. The daily chart, we've been consolidating for a pretty long time. HA was a lead bull for a long time as well, but that has obviously changed with lower highs and lower lows, and this clear 100-day moving average resistance of 51.30 rejected every single day this week. But I do like the fact that we are building a base of support here because it's setting up a trade that has very low risk in the sense that we form support back here, $50 psychological held on this consolidation, 50.10, 50.25, 50.01, and we just, although we dipped below it at the low of this week, you can see the lower wicks on each of these candlesticks and the ability for the bulls to keep closing above 50. It would be a very clear exit signal if you were a bull short term to exit if we close below $50. And you could wait for a bull signal with a close above the 100-day moving average, and then we'd be looking for some short-term upside, 51.67 and 53.45. So the reason that I do like HA, even though it is clearly in a downtrend, is because we do have that support level to go off of and the limited risk to reward ratio. And the weekly time frame is also a bullish reversal candlestick after pulling back 4 of the last 5 weeks. So that's a little bullish reversal. Doji, not an exact doji, but I'm not one for exact definitions. That's enough of the psychology of a doji that's what I'm looking at. And we need a green week over the middle Bollinger Band weekly resistance to confirm it. And that middle Bollinger Band weekly level is going to be up in the 51.80s this coming week, and the bulls need to regain that level. So obviously the uptrend on the weekly time frame is very much intact for HA, so we could be looking for the bulls to resume that trend. I'm going to be watching this week LUV, HA, and Jets overall, and of course whatever everybody else asks me to watch, but personally, that's what I'm interested in. So I appreciate you watching. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Should see some upside in the airline sector. Lots of volatility with the breakout, fake out, and the big pullback. Let's see if the bulls can recover.